Welcome, dear viewers, to a game of Arkhtide. We will showcase a game between the Scarlet Legacy and the Roseborn Empire. The Scarlet Legacy forces are led by Lord Corwin, while the Roseborn Empire is led by Kreutz. The game is set up. Both players start with 13 willpower and 9 RK. Their Seekers are already in their safe zone, ready for the showdown. The realm decks and the main decks are set to the side. The willpowers are tracked on 10-sided dices. Each round begins with a resource phase, where first both players draw 6 cards. Then they decide which one they want to mulligan, up to 3 maximum. The Scarlet Legacy player decides to mulligan 2 cards, while the Roseborn Empire player decides to mulligan 3 cards. Cards that are mulliganed go to the bottom of the deck. Then new cards are drawn. The round phase begins and both players look at the top 3 cards of their decks. They both choose one face down, and then they will reveal when both are ready. Since Coronation Ceremony has a higher initiative than 3 of Thoughts, the Roseborn Empire player will decide who will start the preparation phase. He chooses the Scarlet Legacy player to start the preparation phase. The realms that haven't been chosen are put back into their decks, either on the top or the bottom. You can decide for both cards individually. Scarlet Legacy plays Karvai for 3 onto the neutral realm in the middle. Roseborn Empire follows it up with Odon for 2, also onto the middle realm. Scarlet Legacy then plays Lady Amarak onto the 3 of Thoughts. Then Kreutz is sent from the safe zone onto the 3 of Thoughts as well. Lord Corwin goes to the Coronation Ceremony. Since Corwin's melee attack of 6 is really scary, Justicar Fen is going to be played onto the middle realm. The Scarlet Legacy player declares that he is prepared. Thus, he will have no more options to play cards during preparation, but he has now the opportunity to start the combat phase. The Roseborn Empire player still can play cards, and he invokes a binding, attaching it to Lady Amarak. It's a Stormburst trap that costs 2. The Roseborn Empire player also declares that he is prepared as well. Now the combat phase can begin. Right at the start of combat, Kreuz's ability triggers and manifests a Thornwire trap, attaching it to Karvai. Scarlet Legacy will now have the first turn of combat. He decides to invoke a Crimson Strike. It will make Karvai do a melee attack of 4. Additionally, he decides to use the talented ability of the card, inflicting 2 wounds onto his own unit who performs a strike to increase this melee attack to a melee attack of 6. The attacker decides not to amplify the damage by discarding a card, and the defender decides not to use any cards to block the damage. So Justicar Fern is going to die. Now it's the Roseborn Empire's turn, and he invokes a feat called Spectral Hounds. It's a fast ability that inflicts 1 damage. Scarlet Legacy now can use shielding, and he does. He plays a Take a Sip, costs 0, and provides 1 block for the unit for this turn. Since Spectral Hound's ability is fast, the Roseborn Empire player still can act, and he does so, exhausting Master Odin, refreshing 1 RK. Keep in mind, when a unit or Seeker acts, it can perform one of the 3 main actions: strike to attack, reposition to move, or assist to refresh an RK. Scarlet Legacy first uses the activated ability of Three of Thoughts. It's a fast ability that costs him 1 willpower and allows him to draw a card, and then invokes Corpus Gate from his hand. It moves Lady Amarak onto the middle round and also heals 1 on her. Since Lady Amarak was not wounded, this healing overheals her, and now she can use her fast ability to perform a melee attack. This damage is not shielded, however it is slightly debuffed due to the Stormburst trap bound to Lady Amarak. Then another Spectral Hound is invoked, dealing again 1 damage to Karvai. The Scarlet Legacy player decides to shield it with Take a Sip again. Roseborn Empire then uses the ability of Three of Thoughts as well. It's going to cost him 2 willpower instead of 1, since it's not his own round. Then proceeds to use Emery's ability, which allows her to trigger an effect of a trap, even before the normal trigger point would appear. It deals a damage of 5, and Roseborn Empire decides to discard a card to amplify the damage by 1, thus inflicting 6 damage in total. Scarlet Legacy decides not to shield any of it, so Lady Amarak is going to die. Scarlet Legacy then decides to activate Lord Corwin's slow ability, healing 4 on Karvai, fully healing and also overhealing him. However, now no extra effects react to this overhealing, so he's going to be just simply fully healed. Roseborn Empire now moves Emery onto the Coronation Ceremony realm, then back to the Scarlet Legacy player. Scarlet Legacy, in response, will move Karvai onto the Three of Thoughts. Master Odin uses his ability, binding another Thornwire trap onto Karvai, making it sure that he's definitely going to die at the end of combat. And then Karvai in response is going to fire a ranged attack of 4 using his own ability. It's not going to be shielded, so Master Odin is going to die. Now this is a very painful moment for the Roseborn Empire player, since this ability makes him discard his one last card that he kept in his hand. It was reserved most probably for the regroup phase. Corwin then moves onto the Tree of Thoughts, since it's already visible that Karva is going to die of the explosive traps. Cheat Death is not going to save Karva in this case. You need to exhaust him to do so, and now he's already in an exhausted state. On to the first round's harvest phase then. It's going to be pretty simple, since Corvin is alone on Tree of Thoughts and Emery is also alone on Coronation Ceremony. Emery is going to harvest the Coronation Ceremony and Corvin is going to harvest the Tree of Thoughts. Nobody is going to harvest the neutral realm, and the Seekers are going back to their own safe zones. There comes now the regroup phase, but none of the players have enough resources to play anything in this phase. So, the next round is going to begin. At the start of the second round, both players draw cards up to 6 and then refresh all their 9 Arkhtide. Just like during the first round, they can now mulligan up to 3 cards from their hand. The Scarlet Legacy player decides to mulligan 2 cards, while the Roseborn Empire player decides to mulligan 3 cards. The round phase begins, and both players throw the top 3 cards of their round decks. They are going to choose one simultaneously, the Scarlet Legacy player choosing Sunken Ruins, while the Roseborn Empire player choosing the Maw. Scarlet Legacy has the higher initiative and decides that the Roseborn player should go first. Then the Roseborn Empire player is going to play Master Odon for 2 onto the Maw. Scarlet Legacy plays Karvai for 3 onto the neutral realm. Then Roseborn Empire invokes Ichabod onto the neutral realm. Velvet is going to be invoked onto the Sunken Ruins. Then Emery is going to be sent onto the neutral realm. Lord Corvin is being sent onto the Maw. Gregory Brandmeier is invoked onto the Sunken Ruins. Scarlet Legacy declares that he is prepared, and then Roseborn Empire also declares that he is prepared. Since Scarlet Legacy was the first one to be prepared, he will have the opportunity to start the combat phase. Although at the beginning of the combat, Emeric Reutz's ability triggers and is able to manifest a Thornwire trap. Scarlet Legacy begins his first combat turn by acting with Corvin, performing a devastating melee attack of 6, targeting Master Odin. The damage is not amplified, and Odin is not going to be defended by shielding, so he simply dies. Roseborn Empire decides to act with Gregory. He performs a melee attack of 6, targeting Velvet. The damage is not going to be amplified, and the defending player is not going to use shielding. However, Velvet has a special ability called Cheat Death, which allows her to remain alive on 1 health if you are able to exhaust her, suffering only 2 wounds. Scarlet Legacy activates the ability of Velvet, performing a range 2 attack, targeting Emery Kreutz. The damage is not going to be shielded, and Emery suffers the 2 wounds, but since she's a Seeker and she's immortal, instead of registering the wounds, she will simply instantly heal them, but suffering 1 willpower in the process. Then Velvet's ability going to trigger, and since this ranged attack wound the target, it's going to be moved onto its own realm. The Roseborn Empire player realizes that by accident he left a marker on Emery Kreutz's ability, indicating that it's already used, but that's actually incorrect, and he's able to use it again this round. So he does so, activating the Thornwire trap on Velvet and killing her with it. Since a binding was destroyed, Gregory can activate his reaction ability. He gets readied and he also heals 1, but actually the healing doesn't matter now. Scarlet Legacy activates the ability on the Mo with Corvin. It's going to cost him 1 RK and 2 willpowers, but it's going to deal 4 damage onto Gregory. He also decides to discard a card to amplify the damage to 5. The goal here is to get Gregory critically wounded, so he cannot be extracted, and also cancelling his Collector ability. Emery acts and moves onto the Mo with a reposition main action. It's a good choice, since she has higher soul than Corvin, meaning during the harvest phase, she would win the realm. Scarlet Legacy uses Carvoy's ability, performing a ranged attack of 4, targeting Gregory. He also decides to amplify the damage to 5. Since the damage is not going to be shielded, Gregory is going to die. And this ability also makes your opponent discard 1 card if it would kill the target. Roseborn Empire decides to pass, waiting to see what the Scarlet Legacy is going to do. Reminder: if you pass during combat, you will still be able to react to your opponent if he himself is not passing as well. Scarlet Legacy decides to assist with Carvoy, thus refreshing 1 RK. Because Scarlet Legacy did not pass, now it's the Roseborn Empire's turn. He's going to attack with Ichabod at Corvin, amplifying the damage just to be sure. It's going to be damage 6, it's not going to be shielded, so at the end of the day he's going to lose 1 willpower, dropping down to 9. Note that Ichabod's ability is not an activated ability, so he can use it as many times as he wants. Therefore the Roseborn player mistakenly marks it as used. During harvest, let's see who harvests which realms. The Sunken Ruins is not going to be harvested by anyone since no one's there. The Mo is going to be harvested by the Roseborn player, 2 souls versus 1. And the Neutral Realm is also going to be harvested by the Roseborn player, again 2 souls against 1. There's a harvest bonus on the neutral realm, allowing the Roseborn player to steal 2 willpowers from the Scarlet Legacy player, dropping him down to 7. Both units are on full health, meaning they are going to be extracted, awarding 1 quintessence for the respective players. Keep in mind, if they would be critically wounded, they would die instead. Roseborn has already 10 quintessence now, nearing into victory. But because Scarlet Legacy saved up some arcane cards, he is able to play a unit during regroup. This is going to give him an edge during the 3rd round. Both players decide to keep their 1 less card, and then they proceed to draw up to 6 cards at the start of the 3rd round. They also refresh all of their 9 arcane. As always, at the start of the round during the resource phase, both players have the opportunity to mulligan up to 3 cards. The Scarlet Legacy player decides to mulligan 1 card, and the Roseborn player decides to mulligan 2 cards. The cards that are mulliganed are placed at the bottom of the main deck. During the realm phase, Scarlet Legacy chooses Echo of Creation, and the Roseborn Empire player chooses Forgotten Temple. The Roseborn Empire player will have the opportunity to decide who goes first, and he chooses the Scarlet Legacy player. Zotarel is going to be sent onto the neutral realm. Emery is being sent onto the neutral realm as well. Lady Raha is invoked onto the Echo of Creation for 4 arcane. Roseborn Empire invokes a Stormburst Trap for 2 and binds it onto Zotarel. Lord Corvin arrives at the Forgotten Temple. Roseborn Empire invokes another Stormburst Trap, attaching it now onto Lady Raha for 2. Scarlet Legacy invokes Lord Bastion onto the Forgotten Temple. Justicar Fen is being invoked onto the neutral realm. Scarlet Legacy declares that he is prepared, so he will be able to start the combat phase. Roseborn Empire declares that he is prepared as well, although at the start of the combat he forgets to use Emery's ability, manifesting a Thornwire Trap. It might have mattered this round, but never mind. Lady Raha is going to activate Echo of Creation's ability, spending 2 willpower to refresh 1 arcane. This Realm ability was a fast ability, so Scarlet Legacy has still an opportunity to invoke a card, and he invokes Crimson Strike for 2. Zotarel is going to perform a melee attack of 4. Additionally, since he's a warrior, he is able to suffer 2 wounds to increase this to a melee attack of 6. And furthermore, the Scarlet Legacy player is going to discard 1 card to amplify this damage up to 7. Now, this is a really devastating attack. The Roseborn Empire player can shield this though. He's going to spend 2 RK and use 2 cards to shield 4 in total. This is just going to save Justicar Fenn's life. And after all this, just to really have a nasty player turn, the Scarlet Legacy player invokes a Take a Sip for 0. This is also a fast ability, so he's allowed to do so, healing 1 on Zotarel. But Zotarel has an ability that when he heals an additional 1, so he's going to be fully healed by this. Roseborn Empire uses Emery's ability and detonates the Stormburst trap onto Zotarel. It's going to deal 5 damage, but since he has an assassin on its realm, he's allowed to spend 1 willpower to increase this to 6, and he also discards a card to amplify the damage, so it's going to be 7 damage in total. Side note, Roseborn Empire forgot to mark the 3 wounds on Fenn, and he is just doing that. Scarlet Legacy decides to pass, since with the current game state, he would win at the end of the round. He's waiting to see what Roseborn Empire is going to do. Roseborn Empire uses the slow ability of Justicar Fenn, performing a ranged attack of 3, dealing 3 damage to Corvin. Ultimately, it will cause to inflict 1 willpower. Scarlet Legacy realizes that he cannot stay with Corvin where he is. If he would, then Justicar Fenn and Emery would also be able to damage him with ranged attacks, and at the end of the round, he will lose his remaining 2 willpowers from the Central Realm. Roseborn Empire decides to act with Justicar Fenn, performing a ranged attack against Lady Raha. The damage is not amplified, and the defender also decides not to shield anything, so at the end Lady Raha is going to be inflicted 3 wounds. But then the Scarlet Legacy player is going to use Corvin's slow activated ability to heal back Lady Raha onto full health. Roseborn Empire realizes that he is not going to be able to win the game. Nevertheless, he will dish out some pain, attacking Corvin with a melee attack of 3, ultimately inflicting -1 willpower. Scarlet Legacy decides to assist with Lord Bastion, refreshing 1 RK. Roseborn Empire passes, and then the Scarlet Legacy player assists with Lady Raha as well, again refreshing 1 RK. This will probably allow him to shield the damage coming in from the Stormburst trap. And just so, at the end of the combat, after both players passed, the Stormburst trap triggers and deals 5 damage to Lady Raha. This would leave her critically wounded, meaning she cannot be extracted, but rather that she dies. However, now the Scarlet Legacy player has 2 RK and is able to shield the majority of it. During Harvest, Scarlet Legacy harvests the Forgotten Ruins. Rosebone Empire harvests the Neutral Realm, stealing 2 more willpowers from the Scarlet Legacy player, leaving him on just 1. If he would have dropped down to 0, he would have lost before the game concludes. And then the Scarlet Legacy player is going to be able to harvest the Echo of Creation. Lady Raha and Lord Bastion are not critically wounded, so they are going to be extracted, both awarding 1/1 quintessence. But Justic Arfen is sadly critically wounded, so she dies. Scarlet Legacy wins with 14 quintessence against 11, and just surviving on 1 willpower. Thank you, dear viewer, for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed, and we wish you a nice day.